Our inspirational reading today, welcome those who have come to the teaching of the Unit Christ. We're a non-denominational, metaphysical, New Age teaching for the world that teaches everyone is a living Christ. Welcome. Our inspirational reading today is from the book 365 Science of Mind, A Year of Daily Wisdom from Ernest Holmes. And I read on page 247. The title is Guidance and Wisdom Belong to Me. Realizing that all action starts in and as a result of consciousness, prepare your mind to receive the best that life has to offer. Become increasingly aware of the one presence with a capital P, the one life with a capital L, and the one spirit, capital S, which is God. Try to drop all sense of lack or limitation from your thought. The Spirit works for you through your belief. All things are possible to this Spirit, therefore, everything is possible to you in such degree as you can believe and accept the operation of Spirit in your life. There is something within you that is completely aware of its oneness with power. Its oneness with power. Of its unity with life. Lose all thoughts of discord and fear and permit the true pattern to come to the surface. Say to yourself, I allow the divine wholeness to flow through me in ever-widening circles of activity. Every good I have experienced is now increased. Every joy that has come into my life is now multiplied. There is a new influx of inspiration into my thought. I see more clearly than ever before that my divine birthright is freedom, joy, and eternal goodness. The divine presence interprets itself to me through love and friendship, through peace and harmony. Knowing that life gives according to my faith, I lift my mind. I elevate my faith. I listen deeply to the song of my being. Thank you, Ernest Holmes. And now we get to listen to the song of this person's being. And she is an integral part of the teaching of the Inner Christ. She has taken all of the classes. She's a student. She's the eternal student. I have known her to be studying something ever since I've known her. And she really is knowledgeable about a lot of spiritual things, and especially about the teaching of the Inner Christ. She's going to be speaking today on reflection, meditation, and prayer. Please welcome with me, Cathryne Bruce Johnson.
Thank you, leader, teacher, Inner Christ counselor Jennifer Allen-Prather. Reflection, meditation, and prayer. I have a reading from the Lamsa Bible. Oh my gosh, help me out. Ecclesiastes. Try to say that 3 times real fast. Ecclesiastes. Chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under the sun. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to lose and a time to seek, a time to tie up and a time to untie, a time to rend and a time to hate. A time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Back to verse 1, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under the sun. This reading comforts me. Because I feel like I've been through something the last few months. I feel, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm in a new season from what I've been through. And this reading also tells me whatever season I'm in, if it's uncomfortable, it's going to change to something else. So when I look at reflection, meditation, and prayer, I look at, with gratitude, the season I am in now. And I feel that I am in a season of restoration, of restoring something. Because that's how life is, one season to the next. For the month of August, we are looking at the gifts of August. What a beautiful theme. And I find myself in a season of restoration. And it's the perfect time to use these spiritual tools of reflection, meditation, and prayer. Now, let's look at restoration. There is a definition for restoration. I Googled it, and the simple definition is a return to something, a return to a former original, normal, or unimpaired condition, and blah, blah, blah. But for me, being in a season of restoration is reestablishing myself in a sense of wholeness. Big breath, everybody. Do I feel whole? Or is there a hole? So these are my reflection. This is how powerful reflection is, because it lets us see where we are, to gain an understanding of ourselves, and maybe an understanding of what we have learned or have been learning or are learning. And it's a sacred moment to go into a state of reflection. So, what matters, the story doesn't matter. What I've learned, how I've grown, how I've expanded my ability to love myself, to love the people in my life, to love everything that has brought me to this new expansion. That's what matters to me. And that restoration of that feeling, that sense of being in wholeness, of being whole. All right, so do I feel whole? I'm reflecting on this now. And it was very interesting what came up. Hey, do I feel whole? W-H-O-L-E, complete, everything with me. Or is there some kind of hole I'm sensing? H-O-W-L-E, is there something that feels missing? And, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of bravery to look into the abyss, as we say, the H-O-W-L-E. And we don't have to do it alone. We have a center of divinity within us that can help us look. What do we think? What could I possibly think is missing? And that comes to the point of, do I feel holy Holy. Now, outside of the Christian definition of holy, it's really about, do I feel in aligned with my spiritual self, with my sense of wholeness? And how much, or do I feel unholy? Gosh, that sounds like a pretty powerful word. You feel that charge of, am I unholy? Meaning, am I not in alignment with my spiritual self, to myself? These are things for reflection because they are tools of moving to a different season of wholeness and, of wholeness, of restoration. So the other point of reflection is just checking the joy scale. How much joy am I feeling? How much love am I feeling to myself, for others? Am I taking care of myself? Just looking at how I'm living? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I eating good food? Am I moving my body? Am I joyfully connecting with people who from whom I feel nourished and inspired, and exchanging these ideas? And if not, what's up with that? Reflection allows us to open the junk drawer. That's what I call it. The junk drawer, and it certainly gives me an opportunity to start sorting through, to start processing what's valuable to me, what's not valuable to me, what have I been ruminating, what I've been keeping it in my junk drawer, and collecting it out, putting it in order. So do take time, reflection. Let's declutter the mind, the heart, the burdens of the seasons we have lived, and just throw it out to begin anew in a new order. So this is what I know. Whatever I have been holding on to, whatever has confused me, whatever feels heavy, whatever is still hurting the heart and brings about a veil of being unholy, if I can take that to my higher self and really sort that out, I can get clarity on that. Reflection, now we go to meditation. Meditation is that powerful tool to take all these bits we're left over, anything that's confusing, heavy, sharp, unwholesome feeling. Nothing's unwholesome in God, but we get to choose certain experiences. So we take it into meditation, and meditation is really the order of the drawer here, because it puts everything straight. We go into meditation. That means we're taking our awareness from the outer world into the inner world, to our spiritual center, to our spiritual voice. And that's one of the things we learn at the teaching of the inner Christ. We don't have to go outside to get it together. We're already together at the center of our core, the center of divinity and wisdom. And through meditation, it's like we're swimming through the clutter. I think of the space debris or the poor pollution in the ocean. We get like swim through that to the inner place of action, of peace, of order, of our spiritual wisdom. And so that's what meditation allows us to do, to focus to our center of divinity. And in meditation, we can meditate just to say what's up, or we can meditate with a purpose of show me some clarity, show me my worthiness, show me my wholeness. These are things we can take into meditation. And in meditation, I ask, show me the truth about myself. Show me the wholeness in whatever has been bothering me. Show me my wholeness. That's what we can do in meditation. So how do you meditate? Well, there's 1,000,001 ways to meditate. But the teaching of the inner Christ has a great textbook, Being a Christ, our basic textbook. And we have a whole chapter 2, which is devoted to a meditation technique. And it's setting an intention for the meditation. And we go in from our outer awareness to our inner awareness. Kind of using the hand with our number 5, the outer awareness, our environment, making peace with it, close our eyes. Then we attune to our body and tell our body to relax. And once the body is relaxed, we focus on our thoughts, the mental mind, relax our thoughts, just telling, hey, be quiet, just listen, preparing the state of listen. And then from there, we go to our ring finger. This is like the number 2 step in the levels of awareness. And we're dealing with the subconscious mind, our feeling nature, and just telling ourselves that we're safe, we're loved. And then we go to the little pinky is the spiritual awareness. That's when we call on, if we know the name of our inner Christ, when we call on our center of divinity we open up to that. And then we go into the silence. And we receive, we listen, and we receive, and something's downloaded, and we're uplifted into a new awareness. So if I ask the specific request, show me my wholeness, it comes to me. That's the power of meditation. And it feels, the joy factor for me goes up so high. It feels so good to meditate. There's a fancy little phrase about that of just don't deny yourself that great good of meditation. And even if it's 5 minutes, it's enough. Even if you have a short amount of time, do that. Okay, so I have reflected, I have meditated, and I have received new insights. And my heart has opened to a new good. And then I want to experience this new good physically in my life, having the good things in my life. Is there lack? Maybe I've had lack, I've been a little short on cash lately. Maybe I've been feeling a little short on love lately. Maybe I've been feeling a little short of holiness, feeling whole. So now that I have an expanded understanding of that through the meditation, it's time to put my order into the universe. And that's through prayer. Prayer, we're talking directly to God, Goddess within, universal mind, divine mind, whatever term suits you. But it's that inner, I'll just call it the great good. So we're talking directly with God, the great good, universal mind. And this is a specific type of prayer. There's a lot of prayers. Teaching the Inner Christ uses something called spiritual mind treatment. It's a scientific prayer. Because another element of prayer, what we focus on grows. So if we're focusing on the problem, what are we going to get? More of the problem. But if we're focusing what we want, what are we going to get? More of what we want. So spiritual mind treatment is a laser pointer to focus the mind, focusing on what we want, so that we can align with universal mind. Because we are so powerful, we get whatever we believe. Hey, if you believe in lack, you get lack. If you believe in in abundance, you get more abundance. So spiritual mind treatment is the way to focus the mind. We're treating the mind, we're spiritualizing the mind to these ideas of truth that are outside, it's inside of whatever the clutter has been. And let me tell you, the thing is to focus on what the do wants. Focus on the do wants, not the not wants. If any not wants come up, if I look at my life and I say, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, then I have to go to each one and say, and use that as a pivot point. If I don't want a pain of feeling unwholesome, unholy, these really charged words, if I don't want that pain, then I want to claim I am whole. I am one with the Christ mind. I am one with the great good. I am one with love, whatever it is. So all the all the don't wants are like a little springboard. They're the pivot point to the do wants. And that's where, when we're doing spiritual mind treatment, we do the do wants. This is what I want. This subject is so vast. We have classes and classes and practices on spiritual mind treatment, this type of prayer. So what I've given you is a little taste of what it does. And what it is, it's a formula. It's called the RUCAT formula. You'll see it in our prayers. R, recognize God. U, we unify with God. C, we claim the good. And then A, we accept the good. And then T is for Thanksgiving. We give thanks and we let it go. So all you have to know is what you want. You don't have to know anything about how you get it or exactly what to do to get it. That's universal mind's part. You just say what you want, and the whole universe, it swirls and it switches and it realigns itself to your focus, to your thought, to your prayer into the universe. So you could say all our thoughts are a prayer, all the statements we make are a prayer, they're a type of prayer, but we can consciously pray with spiritual mind treatment. Would you like to learn more of that? You might want to. Being a Christ textbook, here it is. And it's chapter 5, part 2. Chapter 5 tells about prayer, and the part 2 tells about spiritual mind treatment. And the result of getting this laser focus is prayer works. It demonstrates. It's called a demonstration. It happens. It cannot not happen when we're focused this way. And because we claim the truth, we know the truth, we experience the truth. So these are our power tools. You can think of a big old belt, power tools. I'm ready. I'm in my season, and I'm using this season of restoration to rediscover, to reaffirm the wholeness that is the truth of me. This may be something you want to do. You may be inspired to do that. It's very important to me to feel wholeness, to feel holy in my life. And I do want to say it's not the Christian holy. This is the universal sense. So whatever season you are in, my dear friends, take joy, take comfort. It's either you're restoring something, or whatever you're going through, you'll get through it to the other side. Honor your journey. Honor the journey of the people around you. Do you think it's easy for someone to play the role of being the bad guy? Maybe you're the bad guy this time. Maybe somebody else is the bad guy. Think that's easy? I mean, I think I tend to be empathic, which, empathic is a weird thing. I tend to have empathy. There's a vulnerability with that. But there's also a strength and understanding that everybody if they're not acting right, if they're acting unholy, there's a deep pain in there. And I don't have to fix it. You don't have to fix it. All we have to take care of is ourselves. And everything else falls into place. So honor your journey. Honor the journey of others who are with you, have been around you, that you witnessed. Continue to use these tools wherever you are, of reflection, meditation, and prayer to navigate through the waters, whether they're rough waters or smooth waters. Please, if you need assistance, go to teachingoftheinnerchrist.org. The classes, being Inner Sensitivity is the beginning course, using this textbook, Being a Christ. And just be incredibly, gently kind to yourself, because you deserve it. Namaste. And back to you, leader, teacher, inner Christ counselor, Jennifer Allen-Prather.
Thank you, that was really inspiring. I'm gonna go home and clean up my junk drawer. And keep my tool belt on, that's for sure. Yeah, I love those metaphors because I can visualize in my mind that I gotta get my tool belt out to restore my thoughts to wholeness again. It was wonderful. All right. And now we come to a part in our program where we acknowledge that this is a valuable and precious teaching, and that what you have heard was inspirational to many people. And so, from Matthew chapter 3, verse 10, bring all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. And try now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you such blessing, there will be not room enough to receive it. That was Malachi 3:10. And so, if you found value today in this teaching, we invite you to go to support the teaching of the Inner Christ with your love donations through our website, all lowercase, teaching of the Inner Christ with no spaces, .org. If you go to the very top menu on the right-hand corner, it will say donations. And you can give as you so choose from your heart, or you can mail your donation to Teaching of the Inner Christ, 1114 North 2nd Street, El Cajon, that's E-L and then C-A-J-O-N, California, and the zip code is 92021. And we thank you for your support for the Teaching of the Inner Christ, to teach that everyone is a living Christ all over the world. Thank you, God.